In today's toy review, we ask, is a 6-inch scale Batman from a very specific property worth $70? Let's find out.
Hey, kid. Yeah, you. Everyone thinks toys are fun, but this is a channel for adults. Yeah, I said it. If you're under the age of 18, go get your parents before you come in here. If you're under the age of 13, scram! Let's get on with the show.
This is the SH Figurearts 89 Batman, distributed by Bandai. It's modeled after Michael Keaton's Batman in the eponymous Batman movie of, 1989. There's a lot of sticker shock with this item relative to its scale. Now, it's not a statue, it's an action figure, and there's a lot of accessories inside. Even still, at a price tag of 70 or more US dollars, it's a bit of an ask. Let's find out if it's worth the price. Jim Largo kindly loaned us this figure for review on its way to Guatemala. So thank you, Jim. This would not be possible without you. I am not going to be taking the figure completely out and manipulating it in great amounts, but we will get a look inside the box and the figure in its entirety. As you can see, the box is pretty classy looking with some nice graphics. It's got one of these holograms here to make sure you know that it's the real deal. Gives you some minimal information on the front. On the back, we do get a window to the figure itself, which is pretty neat. You've got some shots of the figure itself in poses. This one I almost thought was from the movie itself. But overall, it's pretty lackluster, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I do love that they ape the Batman logo and emblem from the movie itself. It's a classy move and something I would expect from a company as well known as this. Now, we're going to go ahead and open it, and I'm going to open the tape on the figure side of the box. So we're going to get a look in here and see what we have. Inside we have this reflective gold backing, which doesn't appear to be for the sake of the box, but it is a really interesting thing to include. You also get some pretty extensive directions on what the intended use is of each of the parts. It is in both Japanese and English, and is essentially a one sheet. Now, the manual does not list this backing as part of the interior package, so it is, I guess, just for display in the box. Now, the box is all well and good, but let's look at the figure himself. There is a lot to be had here. We've got the figure himself, his cape, two heads, changeable heads, and you also have, from what I can see in the instructions, that these face plates, just the lower mouth area, are exchangeable, which is neat. You've got the grapple gun, a bunch of different hands, so the batarang and the grappling hook, and some shurikens. So there's a lot of great features to be had here. Now, I've learned my lesson from opening the Mafex stuff, so I'm going to take this top tray off. Normally, I would complain that it was very difficult to get the top off. However, with a figure like this, at the price that it is, having a really good locking front like that really is a plus rather than a negative. So no negative marks for that whatsoever. I will not be taking all of the accessories out, but I will be taking the figure out as it looks to be relatively easy to do. This is the figure in all its glory. It's got a heavy vinyl cape, which is quite nice. It's got a bit of a furry inside to it on both sides. He's got these handles so he can hold the cape up and do his thing. Great sculpting, and as you can see, even with just the plastic on it, which I'm not going to remove, I'm sorry, the sculpting is just insanely good. The boots are absolutely accurate to the film, as are the gauntlets the belt, even down to the bafflingly redesigned bat symbol on his chest from the film. It's really well done. This is clearly Michael Keaton. There's no mistaking it. This is clearly the costume that was designed. And I would expect no less for a figure from a company of quality like SH Figurearts. There's plenty of articulation in the figure. He's solid. He stands. It's a beautiful piece. Now, this is where, just like with many of the more expensive figures out there, there's a crossover between statue and figure. And this kind of fills both holes if that's what you're looking for. You can place him, on a nice figure stand at a diorama, keep him secure in whatever pose you want, and he'd be really great looking. I would never, ever give this to a child for play. It seems sturdy enough, but the parts are extremely small. They represent a hazard, and that's clearly not what these were designed for. These were designed for display and borderline statue or model kind of quality, and as a result, it's something that's for a very specific kind of collector like Jim, which is totally okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this thing. But it's a really well done figure. Between the price point and the fact that it's not mine, I'm very gentle with this because I wouldn't want to mess it up. Had I paid my own money, I might even be more gentle, which is a weird thing to say. But I'm certainly handling the figure because I was asked to. He said, take him out, take a look at him, all this stuff. And I definitely want to give that experience, but not at the expense of a very good friend's toy. Despite the difficulty I had getting him out of the package, getting him back in was really easy and a welcome feature. Speaking of, when you put this back in the box, you might have to open the other side like I just did. You also want to make sure to remove the backing and the instructions when placing it in. Close everything but one side, put the backing back in, and then slide the instructions behind it. Seems straightforward enough, but I wouldn't want anyone to have to wrestle with it. So it's not horrible to put back in and easier than most, but there's some tricks to it for sure. Also, I ended up retaping the box because the tape that they use is very wide and they use a long piece. I was able to use more narrow tape and a shorter piece just to reconnect everything. Certainly not something that was asked for, but I want to make sure this stays shut. And I'm going to be repacking it, sending it along pretty soon. The box of some other stuff for Jim, including his Hush Catwoman. So it's an amazing figure. The price is not the worst I've seen for something made by this company. And I would say that, generally speaking, you do get your money's worth if this is something you're after. But as someone who does not collect single characters or wants to take like one figure or character and put them off to the side like this is this, I can't justify something like this for my collection. I like groups of figures, play scenes, dioramas, things like that. And although I'm sure there are other SH Figurearts figures from '89 Batman in the line, it's not something that I would invest in, but I can certainly understand why someone would. So if you like ultra detailed, high quality sculpts, nice heavy capes, lots of different play options, display options, anything in between, and you're a fan of '89 Batman, this is pretty much the figure to get. Granted, that's the opinion of someone who wouldn't buy one, so I want to know your opinion. Let me know below. Is this worth $70? You can get it on Big Bad Toy Store right now for $72 plus shipping. Is it worth it to you? If so, why? If not, why not? Let's start a discussion. Because there's a lot of what they would call boutique or fancy toys on the market these days, and it's something that, certain characters are going to really appeal to folks, more than others. But I also know there are people that really like this particular style of figure and do collect a bunch because they want the set or they want a specific team or something like that. And with the quality, if you've got the means, I don't see a reason not to. But that's a big if. So yeah, '89 Batman from SH Figurearts. Expensive, but not a gouge. High quality for what you pay. Probably worth it if you're in the market for something of that value. But that's just my opinion. In the meantime, may all your card backs be straight, may all your grinds be merry, and may you be able to get anything you're looking for at any given time at a price you can afford. No, I can't afford that. Cheers.